So we're starting Teshuva. We're in Elul, K'tiva B'Chatima Tova, everyone. And really, I call this class Soul of Teshuva. And I wanted to focus on Teshuva from what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says in the Zohar and Tikkunei Zohar. And I want to tell you that it's chutzpahdik of me to think that I can sit here before you and sit and teach Zohar. Having said that, the Zohar is the book that's going to bring about the Ula. This is what Rabbi Shimon said, but this writing, and even amongst the Kabbalists, they say women Zohar, it's okay. Like women in Zohar is okay. There's other Kabbalistic works that unless you know Shas and everything like that, and the whole thing, you can get lost in it, and it's not recommended. But so really, I want to invite Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's presence to assist in this learning. Yeshivat Hashem, I should be able to give over the love and sweetness that he wanted to give over from the connection that we're meant to have with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's called Teshuva. And so I'm inviting his presence to be with my understanding of what I'm going to give over from my heart into your heart, Yeshivat Hashem, because it's all about an open heart. Yeshivat Hashem. It's all about the heart. It's all about the heart. The Gemara is about bring. It's tashma. Come and listen. But the Zohar is tachazi. Come and see. Now see, we know we have there's all kinds of seeing. Obviously, we have our physical eyes and our senses. But beyond the physical realm that we see, that we come across with our senses, there's something so much more beyond that's going on there that we could also see in our mind's eye and our third eye. Apparently, there's a third eye over here, and it's linked to our heart. And Bezrat Hashem will get all the love connection that Rabbi Shimon wanted to give over, what he was plugging in writing the Zohar, having gotten permission to reveal these secrets. Now, I want to tell you what this course is not. We're not going into Kabbalistic concepts. Whatever we're going to be learning, we're going to be learning it really from the pshat of the words. I'm going to be reading the Aramaic because it's purifying just to hear the beautiful lashon, the beautiful words of Rabbi Shimon, just to hear it in his beautiful language that he put together. It's just, and then we'll do the Hebrew translation, of course, from the Hebrew translation that's written that's been done for us. I'm going to give it over the best way I can in English, and also Bezrat Hashem with the understanding of where it hits my heart and where it hits your heart. So I invite you also, when you hear these things, if it resonates with you, if it goes tweak, I understand that profoundly from my life. At a certain point, I want you to share that also. And the whole point is to bring ourselves to connection with the Kadosh Baruch. Saying that in another way, to bring ourselves in connection with our own soul, because it's one of the same. There is no connection to Hashem without connecting to self. It is about me, and me. It has to be about me. It has to be about them. It has to be about me. Because if it's not about me, if I'm not in that picture, if I'm in the picture only in some abstract intellectual high place there somewhere, it's not doing its work. It hasn't reached us. It has to reach the deepest parts of ourselves. That's where Hashem is. So Anila Dodiva Dodili, which is of course the acronym for Elul, which the month that we're in, Chodesh Tov. is normally it's understood as I'm from my beloved, and my beloved is for me, speaking about Hashem. But the Zohar also says that it's about the person's neshama. I am for my beloved, and my beloved is to me. There's a beloved neshama in us that wants a relationship with the house that houses it, with the body, with the nefesh, with the ruach, to make a deep connection. Every time Zohar HaKadosh speaks about yichudim, unifications above worlds, above worlds, Shem Yichud Kucha Brichu B'Shchinte, to connect HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the Shechina, with His divine presence down to here. It's also happening within us. The Yichud starts within ourselves. The Yichud Kucha Brichu B'Shchinte happens within ourselves. We can't do unifications if we're not ourselves united with our own soul. And what do we know about that connection? It's a love connection. Because the metaphor is a husband and wife. The Kadosh Baruch Hu is like the husband, and the Shekhinah is Am Yisrael, Knesset Yisrael is the woman, is the Kala. All of Shir Shirim is a love story between Hashem and Knesset Yisrael, but it's also a love story between the neshama and the body that houses it, and the nefesh, and all of the lower level souls that, that are in the realms of action, in the realms of emotions, that the neshama's life force is revealed and seen through. Now, when we speak about like yichudim, unifications of above and below, Hashem and us, Hashem and the Shechina, us and the Shechina, then going back up to Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's nice. It's good. And I get so easily distracted. Wow, how did I ever get beyond school? I have no idea. How did I get through school? That just completely knocked me off. Completely. No, it's good, but just bring me back. What was I saying? Yichudim. It's a love story. It's a love story in cosmic proportions. You know what cosmic proportions are? What is a cosmic proportion?
We're gonna see tonight.
Oh,
wow.
But what's cosmic proportion? When you hear of cosmic proportion, what do you have in mind when you hear that? Infinity, cosmic. It's like
too big to imagine.
Too big to imagine. It's a love story of a Kadosh Baruch Hu and his creation that he created. It's a love story. And the Zohar Kadosh and Tikkunei Zohar. Tikkunei Zohar is just like it's revealed secrets, like what's written in the Zohar that was added to the Zohar later, but it's like a continuation of the Zohar. Why is it called Tikkunei? Because it's Tikkun Shechina, the Tikkun of the Shechina. It's rebuilding the Shechina, the Kala, the woman, to be ready for the unification with her husband, to build her up in all the right ways, to adorn her, and all of the 24 pieces of jewelry that Chazal speak about, that a Kala is adorned with. 24. There's 24 books of the Tanakh. It's a lot of secrets like that. There's 24 okay.
Pieces of jewelry.
It's called pieces of jewelry.
There are 24 books on it.
That's one way. That's one simple way of understanding it. 24 adornments. Our gateway to our relationship with Hashem is through the Torah that He gave us. This is His language. This is His love language to us. This is His ketubah to us, right? And we have to be ready to receive that ketubah, to enter the chuppah. These are all getting ready for yichudim, for the ultimate intimacy that we ultimately want to have with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And the metaphor is from the realm of husband and wife. There's no better metaphor for it. And but all of that has to be also like, we have to understand that relationship of husband and wife and unification. And this is what I'm going to be bringing, Bezat Hashem. Whatever we're going to be reading is to always go to that place. It's my neshama with myself. I have to have that unification. I have that love story between me and myself. And there's so many things that got in the way throughout the years that made us forget. Children naturally know it. They just live, they just have a good time. They know to be playful, they know to love, they're very innocent and they're very loving until life teaches them, be suspicious. It's a dangerous world out there. You cannot walk around with an open heart. And the Zohar comes, we know what I'm talking about, right? And the Zohar comes and tries to like re-engage us with the heart to come with an open heart to all relationships. But it begins with ourselves, because we can't give what we don't have with ourselves. Sarah Malka, what did you want to say? Okay. I guess we could have been good friends at school.
How long has it been since the Jewish people actually had that relationship? How many years? Was it only at Sinai? It seems like we never really had that.
We tzaddikim have it. You can have it now.
As a people
at Mamart Har Sinai, and Chet Egel kind of like shattered it. Shlomo HaMelech's time when he built the first Beis HaMikdash, at a certain, like on some level there was some of that, but also not in a perfected state because it was destroyed. Obviously, it wasn't perfected. But we can. It's begging us to come back to it, because it's possible to come back to it. Because we were there, it's in our memory, it's in our DNA, it's where we come from. Our neshama comes from that holy, holy place. Tachat kisei hakavod. So tshuva means to come back to our truest, authentic selves, our happy selves, our playful selves, our innocent selves, our in love selves. Like just to be in love. Remember what it's like to be in love? It's so fun to be in love, right, Edie? It's so fun to be in love. It's so much fun to be in love. And the Zohar HaKadosh, she's a Kala. Mazel Tov, Edie's a Kala. She is. Did you know that she's a Kala?
Yeah.
She's a Kala. It just wasn't.
He's not here yet.
Okay. There you go. If you want to... Okay. Guys, there's someone on Zoom here that needs like missing out on the fun. I got it.
You started it.
I started it, but
you said fun.
You're right. Okay.
Always.
Okay. No, of course in class it has to be fun. Learning has to be fun.
Yes.
Okay. So now where was I? It's a love story. It's of cosmic proportions. And we want to be, and Rabbi Shimon, he wants to open up our hearts and show us like really the love that Hashem has for us. And again, I'm going to be reading it in the Pshat, and it'll take some like unpacking to get to the love. It's not you going there and you're reading a love story. It's like, it doesn't hit you in the face right away. But if you understand that that's a mahalach, that's where he's coming from. It's the whole Zohar is about friends getting together, going to nature. There's a lot of nature in Zohar. And they come across and they figure out the perfect place to sit themselves and to reveal all of these secrets. And where do they choose to sit? Usually when, yes, under trees and stuff in nature, but in the fields outside, but usually when there's a place that feels that's blocked, that has to be open. Now that's a very deep thing, what I just said. Because we think I want to be in love, so give on the love. But then we hit a brick wall. That's where the love is waiting for you.
In the wall?
Yeah, in the chasima, in the blockage. Because Hashem's love connection to the world is every place. And the tikkunim are us to bring rectification to the impaired relationship. Chas v'shalom, if there's a block somewhere, it's not fair, I'm not dealing with it now, it's no fun. Let me go find a place with an open door, an open gate, and let me go through it. There's so much more fun and sunshine there. It's like, let me engage with what's blocking my love in this place. Because what is this business that there's a place without my loving heart in it, without me walking with an open heart? I have, what?
There's a lot of opportunity on the bus. No, I'm serious.
Yes.
Yeah,
What do you mean? I'm like literally the bus?
literally on the buses.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people are tense and nervous, and somebody got on the bus yesterday and she couldn't walk, and the guy wouldn't get up and move, and she started screaming. Turns out I knew the woman. So I went over to her and I like hugged her and talked to her, and I was telling her jokes, and by the end of the ride, she was, okay. So there's like so much opportunity,
Beautiful.
so much.
So much,
I
all
mean,
the
like,
time.
every
To
seat.
be, and then now, Amy, I know you, so I know that even if you wouldn't have known her, you would have gone there and been kind to
I
her.
don't know about that.
That was a suggestion,
Yeah,
a strong
right.
suggestion. And a bracha to all of us to be like that.
There's opportunity.
To be like that with an open heart all the time. And hold on, how come this isn't working? Oh, because it's not the right cord. Ay, here's this really. I plugged in. See, gotta know which cord to plug in. That's also a lesson. Which cord am I gonna plug in? This is the right one. Ah. Yeah? I plugged in. Okay.
You plugged in?
Plugged in, Bezat Hashem.
May we all be plugged in.
Okay, so I'm just talking. I haven't gone into the text yet, but like whatever, it's okay that I'm talking, right? Because it's like we need to understand. It's an introduction. We're opening up our heart. We're opening up our heart, and so. But you see, when you see Amy, the example that you brought at the bus at Nebuch, this woman was like disgraced, or whatever. This frustrated. And you went and you helped her. You took the opportunity. Now, I'm going to suggest something, that it's a lot easier to do it when we see somebody else in trouble, and we kind of neglect ourselves when we are the frustrated ones vis-a-vis ourselves. Two things happen. I am either waiting for an outside Yeshua to come and help me. Who's going to notice my pain and going to give me the word of relief and the hug that I need, or the acknowledgement? But that's nice when it happens, but it's weak. Because ultimately it's not based within myself. And it's prone to disappointment. Because I've given over validation to an outside source outside of myself. And that has a limited lifespan. It can only go so far. The issue that we need, the ultimate validation we need is like, I'm okay with myself. I'm a mess. I accept that I'm a mess now, and it's okay. I have anger now. I'm angry. Okay. It's okay. I'm not going to start like tshuva and elo. I refuse to go to those tshuva places again. I'm so bad because I have anger in me. No, it's like that's so past. That's so passe, that type of tshuva. Yes, of course, I have to get over my anger. I have to get beyond it. But it starts with validation, with compassion. Something happened to me. Right, wrong, I'll figure it out after I first validate. I'm hurt. This is the chasima. This is the blockage. There's something blocking the light of our. Something happened to me to cause my heart to constrict and close off.
Really, it's a very loving thing because you're embracing, you're not shaming yourself.
You're not shaming yourself. That's right. I love you, and we have to do that. And I'm not gonna we're not gonna shame ourselves, and we're not gonna. And yes, this is an embarrassing thing that happened to me, and I'm going to say these are my reactions when embarrassing things happen to me. I don't like it, and all of this stuff rises to me. For me, that's a blockage, because I want love, I want validation, I want, and there's no light coming in, and there's no love, and my heart's feeling closed. And the next thing is, after I validate this, is now I've identified the sha'ar. Pitchu li sha'arei tzedek. Pitchu li sha'arei tzedek. Open for me the gates of righteousness. Pitchu li sha'arei tzedek. It starts with, I'm going to look at my pain. I'm going to be courageous in my pain, not run away, not numb it, not do the usual shtick, Netflix binging, schnitzel eating, whatever works for you. I don't know. And I say schnitzel in Canada, it doesn't work. Yeah. But here they understand what I'm talking about. Chocolate, tubs of ice cream, Haagen-Dazs, schnitzel, falafel, not. What?
Everything is okay inside.
It's not a problem to eat. And enjoy your ice cream. Enjoy the schnitzel with the appropriate time away from each other. Obviously. It's just so I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like I'm being funny. Obviously. Okay.
Schnitzel at Cafe Rimon from
Veal schnitzel, I've had that. I know what you're talking about. With those 12 salatim that they get. Okay. So let's go back. Where was I? Pizza.
Open the gates of.
So Rabbi Shimon and his friends, who are all about love, because there's so much love there. They speak about that. Yeah, now we have a term Chevra Kadisha that's meant for like the burial society, but the Chevraya Kadisha is actually a term from the Zohar. Like we are holy friends. You know how Reb Shlomo would say, "Holy brother." That's where this is Zohar. The whole approach of Rabbi Shimon is the holiness of relationships, of open hearts, of acceptance, of camaraderie, of respect, of validation. But it starts also to show up to this, to be part of this holy group of holy, awesome love beings, is to be that yourself with yourself. And they were all that with themselves too. And that's why the secrets of Shemaim opened up to them. You can't have secrets of Shemaim opening up if you're closed off to your own neshama. It doesn't work. I'm gonna go to a shir, and you wonder when you walk away, it didn't work for me. Why didn't it work for me? Because it's just blah, blah, blah. It's not, you have to come up with an open heart. If you'll show up with an open heart, you can blow your mind with love for Hashem from a jar of peanut butter. Everything is that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like everything. So Pitchu li sha'arei tzedek is like, so Rabbi Shimon would go and they would find a place in nature, and where they would sit is like, here's a sha'ar, here's a gateway that's blocked. And we're going to bring down through our love and mutual respect that we have for each other and for Hashem and for our own selves. We're going to bring down so much love that's going to break this blockage open. And what's going to be revealed is Ora Ganuz. None other than Ora Ganuz. This is what they would stop. What made them stop here and not there? What made them stop here? This is how I learned it when I learned it. They understood the particular light in this particular dimension of time and space with these holy souls gathering together. This is the Nakuda that has to be revealed in this place through a new revelation of understanding the mitzvah of tefillin, or a relationship between husband and wife, or whatever it is, or what's going on when we eat on Shabbos, or whatever it is. It's all rooted in Taryag mitzvahs. But it's looking at the Taryag mitzvahs al pisod, the secret that's waiting to be revealed. I was looking for a stronger word. Experienced, revealed, hitting us in the deepest places that it brings us to tears because it's such beauty. It's so much beauty and enlightenment. Yeah, all of the above. Consciousness. It's all about the consciousness.
And epiphany.
Yeah. So I want to share with you now from the text. Oh,
Great introduction.
yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Really, if you just take away my introduction until next week, that this is the work of Elul and Teshuva, and every day, not just of Elul, to walk around and to give us ourselves a bracha, to walk around with an open heart, to be sensitive when our hearts close off, to be aware of it. Sometimes something happens and our close off, and then we don't understand. The next thing we know, we're in a bad mood, or we're snapping at people and like, and we don't understand. Oh, because something happened that caused a kivutz lev, a closing, a tightening of the heart. And because I'm into it like for a little bit now, you can practice this. You can get to identify those situations faster when it happens to you. Like, oh, what happened to my open heart? It's not there. So then you stop and you examine. Something happened. What happened? Oh, he said something that hurt my feelings. I wasn't validated, or whatever it is. And I said, okay, so I don't want a closed heart, but this thing happened to me. So it's not validated. I have a closed heart because something happened to me in real time. I'm a person in real time, living this world, experiences. And then I say, okay, and say, so if I don't want, if this situation is not meant to be, have me remain with a closed heart, have me remain with a kivutz. A kivutz means like the shrinking of a, right? All right. Then how else can I approach it? I'm not belittling it. I'm not saying grow up, mature out of it. I'm validating something happened to me that caused me to have a heart. And this is exactly where the shah is for the next enlightenment. I have to figure out a different way of interacting with what just happened to me in a way that's going to open up my heart. When I open up my heart, I find love again, and I find light again. So I'm going to share with you an experience that I had this Shabbos. I said it like the other night. Well, you came late, so you may have missed it.
I missed it. I'm sorry.
You missed it. Okay. So it's okay. So I'm not repeating myself. On Shabbos, something happened. I don't even remember what happened. Honestly, I don't remember what happened. I'm so happy I don't remember what happened, because it means I've cleaned the slate. But the experience of it, like the detail, I don't remember. Something caused me to have a closed heart. And I'm saying, Shabbos, I have a closed heart. What happened? Oh, him. Okay. I remembered something. Something was said at the Shabbos meal that reminded me of a situation with a certain him, and it caused me. And I'm thinking, okay, Yael, kivutz lo, I don't want this closed heart. As ma ken. That was the only tefillah I did, because I'm in practice with this already, right? Kivutz lo as ma ken. How else am I going to, without ignoring it and shoving it, which never works, right away? Like, I can pretend, but it'll just come back and bite me some other time. It's like, so then it occurred to me. So the certain hymn that said this or did that, I have no idea. I don't remember which hymn it was, because I have a few hymns. It could have been. I have no idea. But I have a few.
Oh, that you don't remember.
I don't remember. You always say that. You can tell me anything because 5 minutes I don't remember. It's okay, whatever it was. That caused me and then I thought, okay, so kivutz lo as maken. I don't want to close heart, so how am I going to get back to a point? This is a shal. There's an opportunity waiting for me. I still don't know. I'm in the dark. But then I did this tefillah and I'm looking at it, and then Hashem just sent me. He sent me up. Siyata dishmaya. It's not always about you, Yael. It could be that he has a life that's causing him to be insecure about certain things and say whatever he said or do whatever he did and be however he is. I have no idea. I don't have the full picture on everybody's life. And yeah, there's an interaction and I have certain expectations. So that's usually where disappointments happen. Because there's an interaction, then it builds up an expectation, and then you're expecting the person to come forward with something, and it doesn't happen. So then that's where so then you have to feel like you protect your heart. Protecting your heart means I have to close my heart. And I don't want to go with a protected heart. I just want to live. I want to get back to innocence. Children forget things very, very fast. So when I did that, and I guess Hashem heard me sincerely enough that I don't want this, that he sent me, it's not about him. Get over it. And then what happened is that it's not about me. It means that there's something. So I just started davening for the person with such an open heart. And I know some things that could have now I'm narrowing down to 2 possible hymns, because there's 2 possible hymns that I know what to daven for them. So I just sent them I with an open heart, with no hakpadah, with no begrudge, no all of the things that caused me to close off the darkness that came in, full of light, and I'm just praying for them. And I got back to my playful self at the Shabbos table, and Ima and Savta is back to her normal, shtick, whatever.
I have a wonderful prayer that someone taught me. It's 4 words. It's in English. In the moment, when something hits right away, bless them, change me.
Beautiful. Bless them, change me. So this is a perfect what you're saying.
That's
Totally
what you did.
Totally. But when you turn things to formulas, you're all taking notes and you're writing this down. It's going to work if it's going to come authentically from your own experience. You this formula that Amy just said. It's not for them. Yeah, there's a process. You have to really be ready to let go. You have to acknowledge the hurt that was there. Because unless you acknowledge it, you're not going to be able to authentically then release it, right? So for me it was kivutz lo az maken. That was my tefillah. Kivutz means litkavet means to shrink. Like my heart shrunk. Like it gets closed.
It's also to
Kivutz lo. I don't want kivutz. I don't want a shrinking heart. Az maken. So, but and you said what did you say? Bless them, change me. Okay, good. Whatever works. But with contemplation, your own neshama is gonna reveal the perfect sentence that works for you, that's gonna resonate with you. So you can adopt other people's sentence. Good. If it hits you, that's good. Use it. But to be authentically relating to yourself with compassion and understanding that you can actually allow the light of the neshama to come through. That's the change me part. So I'm gonna share with you. I can go to the tikkunei. I can read something from the Zohar now, or I can tell you a story about Rav Zusha and his wife. And which one do you want me to say? Rav Zusha story, or go into a little bit of the Zohar? Just tell me.
I would like the Zohar.
Okay, good. Okay. B'ezrat Hashem, we'll get to both. B'ezrat Hashem, we'll get to both. Okay. had a marker here and it fell out of the book, so look, I'm just trying to see what do I want to actually tell you. Okay, so the Tikkunei Zohar, just a little bit to tell you. Tikkunei Zohar, okay. It's 70 ways of reading the word Bereshit. It's 70 tikkunim of how to read the word Bereshit. That's the Tikkunei Zohar. The Tikkunei Zohar is all about one word. 70 ways of reading Bereshit.
So hard, is it, it's so hard, it's the whole.
It's compilation of Rabbi Shimon's teachings that got added on to the Zohar later. First, the Zohar was written, and then it was agreed upon. You know, Shemaim with Eliyahu Navi, you can add this to your revealed secrets. So I'm not doing the Breshit with you. There's 70, but what I'm going to be sharing with you is from the Hakdama, which also Rabbi Shimon. It's also part of Tikkunei. There's a very, very big Hakdama. It's very long Hakdama to Tikkunei Zohar. And so I mentioned Yehudim, right? I mentioned Yehudim before. So I want to say a little bit about that, okay? We're not going in order. We only have 3 classes on this session. So I'm just going to be bringing everything, whatever's going to be inspiring me. Well, for Teshuva and Elu. Okay. So this, of course, could be a class on here. We'll see what happens after Elu. Okay. He speaks about the Yehudim. The Yehudim are unification. And there's 2 holy names of Hashem. Okay? That relate to the Yehudim more than other names. Okay. There's Yud, Hey, and Vav and Hey name. The Yud, the Tetragrammaton. The Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey. And then there's the Adnut name. The Yud, Hey, and Vav Hey name, not to say it, we call it Shem Havaya. Because it's from Haya, Hoveh, V'yeh. Shem Havaya, the name of existence. Lihitavot means to become. Lihiyot comes from that, okay? Shem Havaya, Haya Hoveh, this is God that relates to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. When we say L'Shem Yichud Kudsha Brichu V'Shchinte, the Kadosh Baruch Hu, the name of Hashem that relates to Kadosh Baruch Hu in that formula is the Yud Hey and Vav and Hey name, and that's usually understood as the masculine. Yud Hey and Vav and Hey, even though I don't want to get. Once we learn Yud and Hey, Vav and Hey, there's also feminine, because the Heys are feminine and the Yud and the Vav are masculine. But just as a name in itself, as it relates to the Sfirot, it's connected Tiferet. Forget that if I'm going to be on your head. There's 10 Sfirot. Yud Kei Vav Kei relates to Tiferet. It's the masculine. It also relates to Torah Shebichtav. Okay? And then you have the name of Hashem that's Adnut. Aleph, Daled, Nun, and Yud. Ado, right? And that relates to Hashem's presence in this world. He's Adon HaKol. How his mastery is revealed here in this world. Olam Asiyah. Adnut. It relates to the Shechina. So you have Yud Kei Vav Kei, and then you have Shem Adnut. And all of Torah, all of the mitzvahs that we do, everything that we do with Kavana, every approach, every relationship, even a shoemaker making shoes, and I'm using that example for a reason, because there was Rabbi Yochanan Asandla, like in the Mishnah we hear it, and he would make yichudim every time he would sew shoes, okay? Because everything that you do has to have within it a God consciousness, a consciousness that what I'm meant to be doing in this world is bringing Hashem's presence to manifest it in this world. And my kavana has everything to do with it. Just to say a little bit about this shoemakers, holy shoemakers, is Na'alain. Na'al is one of the holy names. It's like 3 letters, Nun, Ayin, Lamed. It's the things that contain the whole structure. Our feet go into it, but our feet support the whole body when we stand up. So it's making shoes means making full support to be able to carry the full load of God's presence in this world. It's very, very, very deep. When I go like this, I'm wondering, I have too much information in my head, and I'm wondering if I should give it to you.
Downloading what should come out.
No, I'm not down. I'm trying to say, is this going to take me off track? Because it's an interesting bit of information, but I'm not going to go there. Okay. I have to say it. Okay, because again, when a person, you can recycle, you recycle a dead person's clothes, but not their shoes for a reason, because at a certain point, the shoes failed the person. He's not carrying the person anymore. So you don't give the shoes that a person walked in. It's a
Only
thing.
for deceased or ever?
No, you can recycle shoes if of a deceased person. Okay. So we're having that. So you have the Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey, 4 letters. And then you have Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud, 4 letters. There's a way of writing them together that intermingle them together. You have Yud and Aleph, Hey and Dalet, Vav and Nun, Hey and Yud. So you have Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. Leave space between the Yud and the Hey and the Vav and the Hey, and then you write in those spaces Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud. So you're writing them both together. That's a yichud. You understand what I'm saying? You don't read it. There's
We're saying.
Baruch Atah Hashem. Elokeinu melech. Right. Well, yeah, we're reading Yud Kei Vav Kei, but we're saying Adon Aleph. Yes. You're integrating the two. Now, how do you read Yud Kei Vav Kei when you read Baruch Atah Hashem? When you say it ad nut. You don't say it Yud Kei Vav Kei. You don't say the letters Yud Kei Vav Kei. Only once a year, Yom Kippur, the holiest person, the holiest place, on Yom Kippur, in the holy, and like in Kodesh Kodashim, would say it, pronounce the name Hashem HaMevorach. That's why in Shul and Yom Kippur we fall on our faces, because he would say the Shem HaMevorach. And we don't at this point we don't even know which nikud to say it in. There's no vowels that's attached to it. Although in meditation, you can take this name of Hashem Yud Kei Vav Kei and read it, not speak it, but think it, hear it in your internal ears with the vowels of the word Yir'ah, fear. So Chirik, Shva, Kamatz. So you put the Chirik under the Yod and the Shva under the Hey and the Kamatz under the Vav and then the Hey. So you hear it in your head, and that is meant also to bring to clear your mind and to connect to neshama, and after all the preparation that you did, like it's feeling like please Hashem, I want to be a house for your presence, to come to approach it with yira. You understand what I said? Okay, so there's a way. Now you have, when you intercombine, when you write the Shem Havaya, Yud Aleph, Hey Daled, Vav Nun, Hey Yud, you have a Yud at the beginning and a Yud at the end. Look what I just did with my hands. You have a Yud at the beginning, Potech et Yadecha. Potech et Yudecha. Open up the 2 Yuds. Open up the 2 Yuds. The 2 Yuds, when you open up the 2 Yuds, you have 8 letters in between, right? And that's the whole sum total of the full-bodied experience that we want to have to bring Hashem's presence into our life between those 2 Yuds, between the first Yud of Yud Kei Vav Kei, and the last Yud of Aleph Dalet Nun Yud. The first Yud relates to Shem Havaya, which is Hashem is lofty realm, and we want to just schlep him down and make it manifest in the last Yud of the name Adnut, which is relates to the Shechina, Knesset itself, are functioning through mitzvahs in this world of Adon Olam. Get it? It's beautiful, no?
Very. Amazing, I'm like processing it.
Okay, so now that you know that I can actually read something from the Tikkunei Zohar. Shebehem klulim shnei shemot shehem yud kei vav kei. These two names that I said, and he spelled in yud aleph. Okay. Shebehem shmone otiyot, which are and within them are 8 letters. So in this Akdama, it speaks a lot about the Yehudim of these two names, and he brings how this is seen in Tefillin, how this is seen in the Brit Milah, how this is seen in Shabbos over and over again. How this is brought down in Nevuah, in the Sifrei Nevuah. So I'm just going to read you how it relates to Nevuah. So there's a way of seeing this combination of two names of Hashem written like that as speaking about the Nevi'im, that this is what the experience of the Chozim and the Nevi'im, the prophets, that they were able to combine these two names to make a yichud through their experience and openness and cleansing out and being able to open up their hand, their yuds, and say, that's why it's so like, when you go to Birkat Kohanim, open your hands. Just want to receive it all, right? And so they say, Shabehem kruim shnei shemot shehem Yud, Aleph, and Hey, etc. Shabehem shmone otiyot keneged shmone sifrei nevi'im. One way of understanding, just giving you a little bit of a taste, that how many sifrei nevi'im are there of the 24 books of Tanakh? How many are in the section called Nevi'im? 8. There's Yeshua, Shoftim, Shmuel Aleph, and Bet, Melachim Aleph, and Yeshua, Shoftim, Shmuel Aleph Bet, Melachim Aleph Bet, Yeshayahu, Yirmiyahu, Yechezkel, Treyasar. Those are the books of the Nevi'im part of Tanakh, Torah Nevi'im Tuvim, of the prophets. So now he's relating that everything is about this. I'm just giving you a bit of a taste. Shekeneged shmone sifrei nevi'im, unevi'im shnayim harei eser, keneged eser sfirot. Kenegdo re'a Yechezkel eser marot. And according to the Tzaddikim, it said, okay, I'm gonna leave that just as a taste and then go further. Ve'od elu שעוסקים בתורה לשמה, those who come and are osik in Torah lishma. מה זה לעסוק בתורה לשמה? You're doing it for Hashem's sake. L'shem shamayim, not for ego, not for kavod. Not because to call me a rabbi, a rebbitzin, or whatever. And just here, I just want to hear the words of Hashem, and I want to be able to plain person, just do what Hashem wants for me. Lishma. No other gain other to come closer, me, my neshama, to myself, and through that to connect to Hashem through His Torah. ועוד אלו שעוסקים בתורה לשמה, ושומרים מצוותיה שהן תרי"ג מצוות שתלויות משם י' כ' ו' כ', that all of this תרי"ג mitzvahs is hanging, emanate from yud kei vav kei, from that name of Hashem, because it's connected to Tiferet Yaakov Avinu, which is this Torah Shebechsad, Yaakov Avinu, and they're hanging, all these tariq mitzvahs are hanging like from this name, like a cluster of grapes, a beautiful cluster of grapes coming down, dripping, not dripping, but being held by this cluster that's hanging from this name. Kedei leyachad behem, in order, why do we have all these mitzvahs? Kedei leyachad behem et Shem Hashem im hashchina, in order to make a yichud between Shem Hashem Yud Kei Vav Kei and the Shechina, which is Aleph Dalet Nun Yud. לייחד בהם את שם השם עם השכינה כבן אדם שמתייחד עם בת זוגתו בכל איברים, like a husband connects with his wife with all his limbs, with no mechitza, that we should have such a clean heart, such open hearts, such healed hearts, that there is nothing that's going to block me from having a deep, soulful connection with what it is that I'm doing at this moment, which is a mitzvah of Hashem. And every moment of my living state should be in that connection. We can't always keep that. There's razov v'shov. There's running and returning. Not to be burnt out. We have to have that. We have to have the ratzov, which is I'm turned on from this, and I'm out my heart, I'm running. But then it has to be like, okay, I have to come out of the experience to let it settle, so that I can process the next stage and be ready for the next stage. There's a ratzov v'shov. But that's part of it. It's okay to have the show. But it's a matter of when I speak, when I engage with the world, and there's Taryag mitzvahs. There's 613 mitzvot that connect to our 613 limbs of our body. And so much of the Taryag mitzvahs, there's so many things that's not specifically mentioned. Like, okay, I'm at a bus, something happened to somebody. Do I ignore it? Do I interfere? This is not in the Shulchan Aruch. This is from your heart. You have to know, what does Hashem want from you from this moment? You have to have understand, what's the yichud of this moment? Do I ignore it, or do I move on? Do I speak or I don't speak? Do I go other examples? So go ahead. Do I do this or don't do that?
Where Mr. came on, an Arab,
Yeah.
and two girls, Haredi girls, didn't swipe their rough card, and he took them off the bus and threatened them. And I said to myself, what type of a person are you, Judy, that you watched these two little girls, and then the next time it happened, I stood up for them. It happened again.
Oh, good. Okay.
And then I said, Mata Rotemi.
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome.
But I was in so much shock. It took me. I didn't do what you said.
The yichud. No, you have to just wait. Sometimes it's appropriate to act. Sometimes it's not appropriate to act. And just to be with an open heart to say, what is the right thing for me to do now? But if you walk around with an open heart, if you clean yourself out, if the tshuva is, if you catch yourselves as much as possible in your day-to-day wake moments of just for the next few days, just notice when my heart closes without doing any more exercises. Just, is my heart closed? How many times? Maybe journal it. I had this many moments of closed heart. I think even just doing that will bring enough awareness that the next time things happen, I am less likely to show up with the heart will not be open the next time it hits me, because I'm going to be practiced. You know what I'm saying?
If you go through life, I'm just asking a question.
Yeah.
You go through life with that much of an open heart, the heart gets beaten up.
Okay, so I another experience, okay? This is an experience. This is true. It's true. And I had a moment with myself, and I actually wrote a poem about it. It's not one of my brilliant poems that I share with you, but it's a poem because I was like down. Something caused to close my heart because I was expecting a word from somebody, and I don't know if they intend on giving me this word or responding to me or not. And I'm thinking, my heart is closed, and I'm like, just, and I don't want to be with a closed heart, but I'm noticing it, and I'm saying, okay, what happens? Okay, first of all, Yael, you're not going to act rash. You're not going to call and push the envelope. You're not going to push it if the person's not ready, or if it's not meant to be. So it's your problem. It's your problem. I have a problem with patience. I have a problem with allowing people to have their own time and rhythm to things. And like, I'm like unspiel, because then it's like, it's causing me, it's triggering me, all kinds of things with me. And I'm saying, okay, so if I use this opportunity as a growth opportunity, it's as a matana, as a petach pitchu lisharei tzedek moment, then all of the lachatz that I'm feeling in my heart, what is it going to give me? It's going to give me exercise patience. I'm going to be more patient. If I'm going to do the exercise, I'm going to be the training of not responding now is going to build my patient muscle. It's going to build my muscle of not judging other people. They have their own life. It's not always about me. And And it's going to help me not be so reliant, for heaven's sake, so flimsy inside of me that my inner calm gets thrown out of whack because I didn't get what I wanted when I wanted it in the way that I wanted it. What is this, like, dependent on outside response to keep my inner calm? I was calm before. What happened to all the metikut, all the sweetness? Something happened, and so that's an indication it's me vis-a-vis myself. There's a closing off of my own neshama vis-a-vis myself, but I want pitchul yisharet tzedek. I want an open heart. So the work has to be with myself, within myself. It is me-based, completely me-based, because I have the keys to unlock the relationship to my own soul and allow the light in to bring me back to calm and balance and love, which I want, which is tshuva. See? So, yeah,
I have a friend that has a hard life.
a hard life.
I've been friends with her for a very, very long time. And frequently she's on the attack with me, frequently. And a lot of people say to me, Edie, why do you put up with it? And I'm like, she's much harder on herself than she is on me.
Yeah, of course, because if you're not hard on other people if you're not hard on yourself. It's an indicator.
And this past week, we were having breakfast, and she, we were talking about the fact that this man is coming and he's going to be proposing to me. And she knows him and she likes him a lot. And she got really nasty to me, And I just I didn't want to fight with her. And I said, I got someplace I gotta go, paid my bill, got up, I walked away. And she told the other women at the table that I'm jealous of Edie.
Of course.
And
of course.
Yeah.
That's why bless her, change me.
So how do I deal with it? I don't want to talk to her right now. Everybody is saying
you
to
have
me, you've been putting up with it for
Edie,
like 30 years.
Edie, you take yourself and you daven, you say, Hashem, this is causing me to have this relationship with this friend. It's causing me to have a closed heart. I don't want to walk around with suspicion. I don't want to walk around with thinking people are jealous of me and I need to keep away. It's closing my heart off. I don't want my closed heart. I want to be able to bless her, to give her all of the light that I can from within me. Help me get to that place.
I'm exhausted.
So you can tell Hashem that's valid. I am at a shell that's called exhaustion. I am at a machsom, a block in the road that's called exhaustion. Need to take care of myself. Don't have time for pettiness. Whatever it is, whatever you call this shell, there's a name to it. Identified by name, validated. With this person, there's a turn off. Identify what was turned off within you. Like, here I am being her friend, and instead of being grateful, she's nasty. I don't know what it is. Whatever you come up with.
She's always that way.
Okay, but there's something that you put up with it.
But at what point?
You don't have to. No. Hold on. You hold on. You can say, I never want to see this person again. That's okay. But that's okay. You don't have to see this person. But you do owe it to yourself and your neshama as part of the tshuva process not to be with a closed heart to her, even when you don't see her. So it's okay to distance yourself from toxic relationships, even parents. All forms of toxicity, it's okay. But then take yourself aside. I have to protect myself. There's an innocence here that I need to protect. And if I'm closing if it's my protection is coming at the expense of a closed heart, not an open heart, I have to deal with it. I want to be with an open heart. Doesn't mean I have to be in a relationship with her. But you have to forgive that aspect of the relationship enough for you to say, I wish her well.
Yeah.
But you're saying, right? We're hearing a hurt in your voice. So that's the closed heart. This is the shell. Okay. So now forgive. Now you've discovered your shell with this person. It's a gift. It's a gift from Shamayim. That you can make a yichud between Yud Tevavke and Shema Dnut between your two yuds of your yadayim to open up your heart and say, how is the light going to come to this? I'm too hurt from her. Hurt means closed heart. Don't want closed heart. Want open.
Can't you guard your heart? You're not necessarily closing it, but like maybe she's like there's a part of us from these toxic relationships or this pain that we're not to do sort of what you're saying, like to deal with it, but at the same time guard. Is guarding your heart.
Guarding. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. They had another expression. What I wrote, the poem that I wrote that I mentioned, like this. What it caused me to realize something about myself, because I want an open heart, and I'm tired of being closed and guarded, and I just want to have fun. I can only have fun and playful and be a little girl that I want to be but the thing with that is, with like children, there's an innocence to it. And with innocence, there's guilt. There's a possibility of being hurt, of being fragile, of being vulnerable. That's the right word. Guilt means to be vulnerable. The cost of being innocent with an open heart like that I'm talking about, the part of the cost of it is that you make yourself vulnerable. And what I learned from Rabbi Nachman is it's a price worth paying. And so I'm going vulnerability. It's a because if I don't walk, or if I walk always with a guarded heart, I'm not open to love.
That's it.
But you don't have to play with bullies.
That's right.
So you remove yourself from bullies, like what she's
Right,
what
as long as you deal with their pain, you're saying. Like in other words, she doesn't have to play with this person.
she doesn't have to play. You don't have to have a relationship with every single person in the world. And there are people that are toxic and are hurtful. So you remove yourself from that.
Deal with your
But
pain.
then deal with that. But now this experience left me with a blocked, closed heart. And now I have to, on my own, in my own terms, deal with my heart while maintaining my distance from this person. It's, I love you. Thank you.
Say, don't ignore that. Don't let it stay close. Don't play with the bullies. but
Don't play with the
deal
bullies.
your-
With the blockage that the bully brought you to. Yes. Can I read you the poem that I wrote in Hebrew? It's
I don't wanna get rid of her in my life.
But you're
I'm
allowed
just
to not-
tired of picking her up all the
Yeah.
time and being beaten.
So
You
you
know,
got-
I pick her up, she puts me down, I pick her up, she puts me down.
Listen.
have better boundaries.
Listen, yeah, but you put boundaries. Now listen, you can at a certain point, it might be that you have the keys to her healing in the way that you would approach, not from a defensive place or from a place of, I have to put up with her, or I'm only her friend out of a chres because I feel sorry for her. No, so at a certain point, if your heart opens up and you clean it on your own, doing your own work, you might find the words. Shem will help you find the words to actually approach her, that she'll be able to hear you and not see you as a threat anymore. And you'll actually bring healing to her heart. That's possible. I know it happened to me, but but it doesn't happen. This Yada Dishmaya here, I have here, maybe next week I'll do it. I don't know what I'm gonna do next week, and it's gonna be whatever happens to me. But it's like tefillah, from the Zohar, not even there's 3 types of prayers, and which prayer gets answered, and it's just a beautiful thing. So I don't know what I'm going to do next week, but I want to read you my poem. Okay, it's Hebrew, but it's not such bad Hebrew. It's not such difficult Hebrew. It's based on a pasuk in Mishlei, uvesimchato lo yitarev zar, and in his happiness a stranger will not be there. The full pasuk is I'll read you the full pasuk that it's based on. Lev yodea marat nafsho. Every person knows the bitterness of his own heart. Nobody else knows the bitterness of anybody else's heart, and everybody walks around with bitterness. Everybody, you're human. You're born. You live as whatever life. You have bitterness. It's a given. Nobody knows the bitterness of your heart. Even you could be married to somebody 60 years. I don't care. There's a certain bitterness of your heart that it's only you that you know. Lev yodea marat nafsho. Uvesimchato lo yiterev zav, and the joy and the gladness of the person also, no stranger can come and be part of that. That's really specific to you. Okay. So then I wrote a poem like this, because I felt into this before this pasuk came to me. I titled it after the experience. I felt my closed heart. Noferet le'atzvut. I fell into sadness. Kol kach regisha, I'm so sensitive. Mechamat tzipiyah shelo ne'enta, because of a certain expectation that wasn't met. Mechaka le'yeshua, I'm waiting for some sort of answer, some yeshua. Shetachzir li tashalva, that will return me to my serenity. Le'ezo shehi milah shelo magia, to some word that it's not arriving. Because I placed the answer outside of myself. I've sourced it outside. And then I realized, Vegamim tagi, even if that word is going to come, Balo nimtzet hatzala, my hatzala is not in that word. Shelefeta niskera, because all of a sudden I'm remembering, Beimrat hachacham, the saying of the wise one, of Shlomo Melech. Uvesimchato lo yiterev zar, in the person's happiness, no stranger can be mixed in there. To be understood, shesimchati lo tluya bazar, that my happiness is not dependent on a stranger. It's a parish on the pasuk. V'simchato lo yitarev zar, in a person's happiness, no stranger can come and mix in. No person can be there. But to understand it in a deeper way means that my simcha is not dependent on an azar, someone outside of myself. Ela bedavar pnimi, except for in something very internal in me. Beini levein atzmi, with me, beini levein atzmi, beini, between me and myself. My happiness is only dependent on the internal, something that's within me, between me and myself. Velo bidvarim mechutz li, not on things outside of myself.
Now, if you can just do that.
Now, writing this lately, like my journaling to myself is coming out in Hebrew poetry. Hashem, like let it continue because I'm enjoying this. Is a lot of fun. But it's in other words, I engage it. I fell into sadness. In the past, I may have seen all kinds of triggers of, there you go again, Yael, you're not respected, you're not seen, and my mother, my brother, okay. It's like, thank God I don't go there. But I fell into a sadness, so it didn't take me to those God, but I identified this caused me to have a sadness and a closed heart, and I don't want to stay there. So what's the answer? What's the answer? And it came to me like this thing, like you're waiting for a response from somebody, but it's not them, because even if they'll give you what you want to hear, you've already, what I got identified to you is that you are unstable within yourself outside of the situation. Could be he'll give you the job or the rental or whatever it is that you're waiting for the answer, whatever it is, it's irrelevant. But look what it caused you internally. And that's where my surgery within myself went to. I want to deal with my maintaining my composure no matter what happens. And if I lose my composure, my inner calm and love and blessing and light that I want to be, the little girl that just wants to have fun and innocent, have to come back to her. I always have to come back to her. And if this thing rattled me to the point that knocked me off, first of all, it's mina shamai. Hashem gave you a gift. Here's your opportunity to bring light into a situation. You can't bring light into Hashem if you're not presented with opportunities to do this. So, and so this already say, okay, it lifts me out of the sadness and say, wow, it's a nisayon. I'm privileged to have a nisayon. Who does Hashem in Tanakh give nisayon to? Avram Avinu. Like I'm in big leagues with the nisayon. Every situation that closes off my heart, here's a nisayon. It's it's compassion, it's an opportunity to do tshuva out of kindness, not berating of ourselves. We have to stop berating ourselves. Again with the, like boohoo, no one's like hugging you and validating you, and now you're gonna eat some worms. What? Like, why? Okay, so this happened, and say, okay, so now what is going to bring? There's an opportunity, a gateway for light. A pitchuli sharet said. In a moment, where is the tzedek within me to let go of the shame and the blame and let it go and bring me back to my love? And what's the way? First of all, I recognize it has nothing to do with anything outside, situation or person or anything. It has to do within you, because I'm talking about my neshama within myself. It's not about the situation anymore. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It has to be how I show up within myself, within this world. And then when you're on that track, then you can go into the tefillah. I've gotten this far on my own. Now send me the answer. Thou Hashem. So, kivutz lo azmaken, a closed heart, no. Sadness, no. Then what's the replacement? This is geula. This is the gateway to the geula. This is the opportunity of tshuva, and this is the blessing of the month of Elul. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Kol tuv. All my love. Gershon, I still don't know who you are. I don't know your first name. Maybe you want to just like unmute yourself and tell me what your name is? No. Okay. It's all good. Chodesh tov u'vorach. All the best. How do I end?